Yeah.
But he only had one owner before us.
Right. Okay.
So obviously
Yeah.
moving probably had a massive help.
Was he quite unsettled when he first arrived then? Yeah, that'll do. That's good. Just
Yeah,
walk him
okay.
around a bit. Yeah.
At night, he goes in, has a carrot, and comes out, but he is worried.
Yeah, he looks quite wise to me. You know.
Well, yeah, he's been.
Yeah, he was quite sceptical when I first arrived.
Yeah, he
Wasn't
definitely
sure. He's
is
very
unsure of
weird
people
with
he
new
doesn't
people.
know.
Yeah. That's what I sort of made friends with.
Yeah.
So the first thing I noticed was when he deviates from the plan
Yeah,
and he stops or he goes to
yeah,
walk out backwards, what you do is get involved in his nonsense.
yeah. There we are.
And I'm not going to treat him, you know.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
know, now that because that was, so that him coming forward, that extra step was a consequence of me being blasé about what he's doing and continuing on with what I'm doing.
yeah.
And that, you know, and now he's almost certainly going to go backwards. I was going to say, but the same thing. I don't, you know. Oh, boy, aren't you? Because he's just playing the game.
Yeah.
Aren't you?
Definitely like to change.
And there he is. So it's just understanding that that's what's going on in his head, you know. If he, it is like a child in a supermarket throwing themselves on the floor. If they can draw you back to where they are and get you involved in how they're feeling, and then they will. But if they can't, then they'll give it up. They'll go, well, that's not working. Boy. Well done. Come on in. So I'm just asking for a bit more detail from him so that he's holding himself in there.
That's right, because that's where I've got to where I always feel like he's just waiting to like
Rush out.
come out.
Yeah, yeah. Looking better. It's just about getting his brain on the job, really. And I think he was just stuck in a bit of a pattern where when he saw you go for the petition, that's when he thought he's got to come out.
Exactly. He's like, oh no, I can't stay in here. I've got
Yeah.
trapped in here. Yeah.
And then they just recycle that pattern because it's what they're familiar with, you know. You know.
Come on.
Come on. And listen. Well done. Very good. Very good. And then, of course, what happens, you know, we sort of add to that cycle by speeding up
Of
to
course
try
we do.
and,
We like, oh, quick, shut him in.
yeah,
Yeah.
and then they counter that by
Yeah.
speeding themselves up to
Yeah.
get out of there quicker than you can move to get the petition. do you normally load him? Yeah. And it's all about the front end, just controlling what's happening in his brain. And don't be in a rush, just take your time. And then you can bring him off. But don't let him move until you've hooked the petition back. The same rules in reverse. Well done. Good. And it doesn't matter, you know, if you have to correct him 10 times, that's fine. The important thing is he holds himself there while you have the time to do what you're doing.
Okay.
That's all right.
Good boy. Good.
Well done. Yeah, just hold it there. Keep his attention there.
Okay.
I'll just do something else.
Okay.
Just
He definitely knows. Oh, it's playing.
Yeah. Boy. Well done. And then you want to have a go now? He just understands a little bit more about it.
Good. Good. Good boy.
Good, yeah. And bring him off now. Do that a few times.
Yeah.
That was better, wasn't it?
Much better.
Yeah.
None of that headbutting made it.
Yeah.
Much better.
Yeah.
Much better. Yeah.
It's all about just getting him, because you know they get stuck in patterns, especially
Yeah.
older horses like him. You know they you know they look for loopholes, and if they find them, then they just get stuck
Yeah,
in that pattern.
that worked.
And they don't even really think why they're doing it.
No.
But then if you try and counter it and you're not successful, then you know he just tries that and perhaps
Yeah.
other things as well. So it's all about just getting into his head and saying, look, you know, we just need you to do
Yeah.
certain things. He'll love you.
Yeah. And that's the first time I've stood on the lorry with him and I haven't felt like I've got, like he's going to try and run
Really
out
not,
if I turn
yeah.
around.
Yeah.
And he he hasn't got that like wild
Yeah.
looking at
Yeah, exactly. I'll do him a couple more times, then we'll put him back in his stable
Yeah.
for a break, just for a few minutes.
Good boy.
Well done. Good. And it can feel quite a relief for them to not have that sort of conflict and that competitive thing where he's trying to get ahead of you.
Yeah, it feels like a relief to me.
Yeah.
But yeah, I can see that. He's just like, oh, okay.
Yeah. Do you want to have a go at just putting him on?
I would quite like to.
Yeah, why don't you?
Yeah.
He loves Puppy.
Well done. Good.
Good boy.
You can do the position if you want. That's good.
I know. You're such a little sweetheart, aren't you? You say that?
Well done.
Good boy.
There's still, you know, a bit of him thinks that's what he's got to do, run that old program
Yeah.
and go for the gap.
Yeah.
When actually he realises it's much easier, he doesn't have to do that. Yeah, let's pop him away and
Well
give him a
done,
break.
Puppy.
Oh, thanks.
Good boy.
Looks quite happy, doesn't he?
Yes, yeah.
I think when he's got a bit more direction, he's a lot happier.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
Like when you're like properly telling him you're doing this,
Yeah,
he suddenly he relaxed with you,
yeah,
rather than when we're kind of
yeah.
body cuddling
Yeah,
him.
because he thinks he's got to run things, and then
Yeah.
he realises he's actually not
He's
very
like,
equipped
I
to
don't
run
know what to
things.
do.
No.
Good boy. Mum, I just
Oh.
needed him.
Really good.
But I get the feeling he understands a bit more of the detail there, and he's a bit more respectful of you know, of your decisions.
Well, this has been the most productive loading session we've ever done.
Yeah.
I'd say with any of our horses.
Yeah.